uh, so we wanted to, new wrinkle here. We wanted to dive into the college world and break down a little bit of the last year's playoffs. We have Penn versus Yale, the third time they played each other. It was 19-18, I believe, in overtime. I mean, just an amazing game. The third time you play someone. I don't know about Coach Garling, but what a bummer draw for Penn, having to play them a third time. That was Penn's season, and, it just kind of fell a little short. But I'm kind of breaking down, guys, some transition defense, regular defense, off of face-offs, a man down, and a couple other plays that I wanted to share with you guys as you guys go from youth lacrosse to high school, and then even club to your high school team, and then from high school to college. Just the level. I mean, Coach Garling's there now. The level of you could start getting tricky with things you do. Everybody. Let me just preface this by saying, matchups, right? When you get into like junior, senior year in high school, sophomore year, you're going to have matchups. You're going to know what hand he is, what three moves he likes to do in his right hand, what three moves he likes to do in his left hand, where he shoots the ball, where he won't shoot the ball, what we want to give up, what we need to slide to, all those types of things. And that's like 6 different matchups out there going on at one time. And you could see this game. It's pretty interesting. Off of the face-off, Coach Garling, there's just a lot of early offense pushing. I guess it's just because they know each other so well. They're trying to do other things. They're setting picks, using the face-off guys for picking and subbing. I mean, it's pretty complex, and in my opinion, as a D coach, the easiest way to score a goal is right off the face-off. That 4-on-3 or 5-on-4. I mean, it comes down quick. If you don't play it right, it's going to be in the back of the net. So we'll see some of that right now. Let me see here. Get to my playlist. The other thing, guys, that Coach Garling does religiously, we do in high school and in the pros, and you guys need to start doing, right? Brendan, I know at Haverford, and, Zeller, and you guys, you pull up stats, right? You want to look at that. Stats aren't the end all be all, right? But there's something to it, right? You can get a vibe on how the game went by looking at the stats, and some things that jumped out at me in this game. Can you guys see this?
No, I got a blank screen.
Nice.
Your cursor's moving around, but it's just kind of a blank white.
Really? How's that, Coach, now?
No, not on my end. I don't know if any of you guys can see it.
No,
you guys see?
Still blank.
All right, well, I have
It popped up at first and then went away. It was weird.
All right, I'll pull up the game itself, but wanted to talk about, let me see. Your screen sharing is paused. Zoom share. Yeah.
If you want to click play, it should run. I think it.
Yeah. So, guys, we pull up stats, right? I had the rosters of both teams. Right. And a couple things that jumped out at me during this game, TD Ireland had 18 ground balls. Right. And Gallagher had 8 ground balls. You can look at it right there and say, okay, well, Yale gets 11 more possessions potentially in this game. You have the ball 11 more times than the other team, and you've got a good chance of winning. The other thing that jumps off the table, both teams, and this is a defensive coach's nightmare, both teams had 8 guys score goals. 5 Penn guys had hat tricks, and 2 or 3 other guys had a goal or two. And Yale had 8 different guys score goals, you know? So as a defensive coordinator, you're going into a game and you're saying, okay, I'm going to shut out Ron Garling because he scores 6 goals a game. Well, that's easy. You know, that's an easy thing to do, I think, because you're going to, you know, when he gets the ball, you have a guy on him, then you're going to slide right to him. The times when it's tough is when all 6 guys plus the backup midfield or second midfield all have 1 or 2 goals each, right? So you don't know who to slide to. You got to just play defense, you know, the old-fashioned way and treat everybody as a danger, right? So that's the stats. That's important to look at, right? You guys will start doing that in high school. You know, you get on crossover, you get on huddle, and, you know, watching video is important. You know, this past spring, you guys would have been watching, you know, at least your games on huddle or crossover. You want to start that process of 15 minutes on your way home in the car. Just pull up your highlights. You know, you can customize them, you pull them up and you watch and learn and teach yourself. But Coach Garling and myself, we spend hours in the film room before we get out onto the field to coach you guys, right? So you guys doing that is just, you know, that's just an extra thing that will get you to where you want to be. And looking at stats and looking at pictures or videos, you know, of yourself and then of opponents that you're going to be playing really helps. All right. Coach Garling, anything there? You good?
Yeah, all good.
All right. So transition defense, guys, it's right off. We'll watch it through and see what happens. Why can't I? There you go. All right. So to me, you know, this guy drops the pass here. He was kind of open, but, you know, his stick was there. If that was Gaudet, it probably would have been a goal. I don't think it was. But the midfielder catches it on the wing and goes deep with the ball and throws back into the crease. If that doesn't work, what happens? It's a 5-on-4, 6-on-5, 6-on-4 going the other way, okay? And that's exactly what happens. I don't know if that was Brandow, 41. Gaudet's over here. So Brandow misses it. 18, and then there's another midi over here, drop back on defense, and 44 just runs off the field. I think he's got to get back. Watch 44. He just sprints off to get off instead of maybe staying on and just playing this 5-on-5. And then usually everybody subs through midline, just stopping the ball. If they get caught, turns into a 5-on-4. Right now, guys, Max, goalie Max, this is recognize it, communicate it, and execute it, right? Getsy, Colleen, Tommy Boy, you know, all the other defenders that are on I can't see. So over midfield, you're screaming, hey, look, this is a box, right? I don't know why we're all the way out here. I mean, again, college is different. Let's just talk about us. You know, if this is Colleen covering this guy, Colleen, you need to be in here, right? We want to get tight, set up in a box, give up outside shots, and not give up dunks, right? We know it's a 5-on-4 and go from there. But over midfield, right, Max, you are screaming what it is. It's a 54. So in a 54, we box it up and go from there. They cover it, but nice hustle by number 3 here in the backside. Get a check on him. All right, got that. So here's a first set. They go from a center slide defense, guys. And again, this is kind of early offense. And then literally the ball goes out or it's stoppage. And then Yale goes into an adjacent slide package. So this is, you know, this is college lacrosse, right? You know, maybe the coach is saying, okay, you know, the first time down, we're going center slide. If there's a dead whistle and the ball stops, goes out of bounds, and they retain possession, we go right into adjacent. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to screw you guys up, right? The offense. Usually colleges are ready for this. But let's see what happens. So this is the center slide. Nice double. We call hold. But going back, see how we help each other out, guys? I feel like I do a lot of screaming. We got some great athletes at midfield. But I like this little rub pick here. And this defender drops all the way in, just in case this long pole can't get through this pick. So he can help him, right? Watch how far this guy drops. Just make sure, right? Everybody's helping everybody. Boom. His guy's not a threat up here. He's just showing, okay, he covered it, the long pole. So then Hanley, curls back. They for some reason, they don't go here. I don't know, Coach Garling, is he a lefty maybe? But as soon as he rolls back, they fire, double, and they get called for a hold. But a good slide, double. As soon as you see the back of someone, Colleen, you do this well. As soon as you see that he's going to turn, right, you fly the ball and get that double going. But they get called for a hold. So this is the same possession for Penn, right? They sub off. Oh, sorry, next one.
Yeah, you always got to click out of that one. So just click save or
Save
cancel.
it.
Yeah.
So now it's the same possession. And this is that dude. He's a stud, right? Number 3. I think he's playing in the PLL. But, notice there's short stick D midi over here. He's showing. They're an adjacent slide, but this guy's cutting through. Hold on.
I love technology.
Yeah.
There you go.
So right away, guys, offense, right? They were in a center slide defense, which means this guy was going. But now they switched to an adjacent. You got to be aware of that. Before you dodge, you're always saying to yourself, where's the dodge coming from and where are my outlets, right? So let's just watch it through. Short stick shows that guy fish hooks, nothing, pass down, pick down. Little adjacent slide. They give up a 15-yarder, soft 15-yarder, and it's off to the races. But boom, see the adjacent slide there with the long pole? Now 26 gets it, and he's got a lot of space right here, guys, which we don't like on defense, but that's what they like, right? He switches to his left. They get the slide, right, but it's a little too late. And then right away, that goalie makes a save. If it's not a good shot and it goes right into his stick, this is what happens, guys. We always have to maintain balance on midfield, right? If Will's Burt's shooting, the other 2 middies need to rotate up, right? To rotate up just in case this happens. Boom. Now we got, hold on. What is it? What happened?
Yeah, you got to click out, and there you go.
Oh, they had a pole goal and I missed it. All right. So again, guys, Coach, this was interesting. Just the cat and mouse game here, guys. They're subbing off of a clear or a face-off, right? 28's giving the ball to 3, one of their better players. This guy's subbing off. This long pole, for some reason, is all the way over here, worried about covering this guy. Guy's coming in. And this short stick D-midi's all the way over here, and it leaves 4 all by himself with all this landscape, okay? And at the same time, the 3 attackmen go behind the goal. So you're screwed, right? This guy's got to stop him. So the 3 guys at X, right, the 3 long poles covering them don't really realize it. too little too late. But this is an automatic go, Cooling. If you ever see this, right, Getz, Max, if you see this, I mean, look at this with the long pole. I don't know how this happened, but I mean, this is like split left, split right. You're getting beat. I don't know. I don't care who you are there. And he gets a free shot to the goal. Goal. You got two guys at X, and then Matthias right here just kind of cutting back door. But, this is just awareness, right, guys? This is simple awareness stuff. 6v6, midi dodging. Same type of thing. 6v6, no early offense. They're in their set. Can anyone tell me why this guy gets all the way upfield? Willsbert, why is this defender all the way up on him?
To add pressure, or maybe like, to add pressure, maybe.
Anyone else?
Is it like because he's like maybe that kid's really fast?
Yeah, I'm sure they're all fast, but it helps you guys. It helps you guys to get all the way up on him so he doesn't get a run at you, right? If you let him get a 10-yard run, you're screwed, right? He's literally 4 yards from him, so that'll help him get his hands on him and be able to steer him either way, right? That's why he's, in my opinion, that's why he's doing it. Could be something different, but that's why you do that, right? He wants to get his hands on him. He's backpedaling fine. He's going to funnel him one way. Nothing there. Pass down, pick down here. Yale wants to maintain possessions off of picks, which is tough. I kind of like it how Notre Dame does it. We would have 50 step out and hedge and Jack Matthias here, but they try to fight through it. Or no, that's 26 Hanley. And he curls and gets a shot. Not the best shot. Tommy, what's wrong with that shot there?
It's a little deep. It's off the run. He's getting pressured up by the defenseman's right in his face.
Yes. What else is wrong with that, Duraco?
He didn't. I don't think he was it stick side.
Just watch where his body ends up.
He fades away from the goal.
Yeah, east and west, guys. That just doesn't work, right? We don't want to settle for that shot. And this is a young buck. He's a stud. I think he was an All-American, 26. He had a ridiculous year. But if he curls to the net, good things happen, right? Boom, little pass down, pick down. They have to fight through it, which gives them an edge, gives them a step. Boom, they get the slide here, 10. Bad shot because he's going east and west, and now look what happens. Here's my transition. So this is off of that. Maintain balance on the midfield, guys, right? We're all sitting watching 26 shoot it. Their other middies are down here getting caught. There's no way a long pole and a long pole should be above our middies ever, right? So as Hanley, I think it's Hanley, excuse me if it's not, as he's shooting, we're curling upfield and not letting these guys get here, right? Maintain balance, team defense, team offense. So boom, you got two poles pushing up the field. Right here, you got a old school L break, right? Look how wide this guy is, which causes this guy to be late in his slide. He needs to be here, guys, right? We want to be at 10 yards, maybe 12 yards, and point. Who gives a shit what he does out there? And we hold. And we stop ball. Because they usually, if they're righties, they want to flare and go down the right side and just shoot. We get caught. Boom. Goal. It's a big-time goal, guys. Boom. We don't. Everybody watches. This guy's caught. This guy's staring at the ball, letting these two defenders go. Boom, the goalie, east-west shot gobbles that up. 10 gets it. Rest is history. Yale man down. All right. So you start out in a 1-3-2, fellas. Then they rotate into a 3-3. And that's just how quickly that shit happened in college. Is that Goldner down there?
Yeah.
That dude just doesn't miss. All right. So, Colleen or Victor, why do they go from a 1-3-2 to a 3-3? Why do they change formations usually?
To confuse the defense.
Absolutely. What else? Tommy, you know? Anyone? What about our formations? Do they change when they change theirs?
We'll run different.
Yeah, so we go from a 5-man to a diamond, right? So that screws us up a little bit, right? And there's that little hesitation of Tommy getting to the crease, then our 4 guys kind of diamonded it up, and they know that, right? And that's why they do those things. So let's watch it. And then I think fake 31, we always have to hold passing lanes. You know, Colleen, when you were a little bit younger, I had to work with you with this because you were always so highly athletic and wanted to go get the guy. But ultimately holding, look, watch 31 here as they work it. He's flying up to the top right spot as it works around, and he doesn't hold the skip lane. Usually you can get a young defenseman that gets in on man down. See him right there? He's rotating up to here, leaving this pipe. 4 does a nice job of trying to get there, and we're coming across. But if he just holds passing lane, allows the top center attackman to just throw it to here, then he could go up to him, right? We want him shooting there. We don't want this. But all that is, guys, is a 5-man to a diamond. So last one here, fellas. And, Coach, I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch the second half, and I'd watch this last year. But, man, I tell you, you got to be on your heels, on your guard off of face-offs with these teams.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you can almost just do a whole session on face-off and early offense, guys. I define early offense, guys, as they're subbing guys off. Usually they have a ground ball midi that gets the long pole and then the face-off guy, right? And if they win it, usually all 3 guys go. Maybe they keep 1 guy, but they're subbing off and on, and there's all these different plays that they have, and they're trying to catch the other team off guard, right? So we have our roles and responsibilities. We understand to recognize it, communicate it, execute it, and that's where we have to be on our guard to slough in, crash, and just close those gaps to support each other. But let's watch this here. I'll let Coach go after this, but this is just a nice hustle play by Gallagher getting this ball. And you could see the confusion with subbing off and on, and I'll take a phrase from Coach Garling here in a minute. Something he likes to say. But boom. Mathias has the ball. This dude's a freaking stud. What's he doing there with that shot? You think he's going to hit the goalie, or is he shooting to either sting the corner or miss?
In the corner miss.
Absolutely, and we got to understand that, right? All of us, guys. You're like looking at low and away. It's like a foot in from the pipe. Anything more past that, it's going to hit the goalie, or he's going to save it, right? So those are the type of things, right? Mathias knows that. I guess this is one of his attackman buddies, right? This guy's subbing off. These 2 face-off guys are subbing. They're in Yale, but they're 2 in, right? They actually have an extra guy. he realizes it. This is Goldner or someone, but he's staying in corner or miss it. Now they maintain possession. But that's just how it happens, guys, right? Quickly, early offense when we're subbing off and on. They still want to maintain possession, though. He does not want to hit the goalie there or even come close to the goalie. It's going to be like a piping in or miss. He'll get yelled at if that doesn't happen either.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Coach. Guys, any questions on what I had or? Good?
Good. I like it.
All right, Coach. How do I do this with you?
Just share the screen. So if you go to like where my wherever my picture is on your thing, the little like 3 buttons on the right, like top right corner, you can share it with me.
Make host.
Yeah, make me the host. You might have to stop sharing your screen first.
Got it.
And then there you go. Yeah.
You want to change the host? Yes.
So fellas, I'll try and be short and sweet. I took up most of Coach Slate's time last time, so I wanted to make sure he got a chance to go first. I'll be as quick as humanly possible here. And some of mine I'm even just gonna like let play through a little bit. I'm gonna ask a couple questions of guys, going throughout. I just put this in, as Coach talked about, you could see, Yale's got a pull on the crease, right? They're subbing, they're still working through, but when you watch, offense is still being able to attack, but attack smartly. I thought Yale did a really good job, and there's no doubt as you watch this of why the game ended up being, such a high-scoring game, because these guys attacked all game long. And when you watch guys cutting through, just the ball movement, the quick passing, the constant attacking, is awesome, for this. And this is what, it's a lot easier to do this in college. You get crazy high level stick skills. But at the same time, it's something that we want to continue to build into, and I know we'll get there. As I go through this, the one thing I wanted to really point out, we're going to go back on it right before the guy scores. As we go back, the neat thing that you'll see is you can almost tell. Of course, my internet decides it doesn't want to work now, but you can basically tell that Yale is focusing on like cutting the offensive box and forth, right? They're dodging this corner, back right, and back left. And then one of the major things that they're doing, as I'm trying to get this going, one of the major things that I love, and you guys hear me say this a ton, right? It's just throw the ball forward, right? It's so much easier. It gets the ball moving. These guys connect 5, 6, 7 passes, right? Throw the ball forward. He attacks back into it. Fine. Throws the ball forward, right? 5v5. Ball gets thrown forward. Like, these guys are all playing off each other, and you can tell, Penn is really worried to slide because they know Yale is going to get the ball out of their stick. When I talk to a lot of guys about recruiting and different things, right, having trouble getting the ball out of your stick, even the simplicity of throwing the ball forward, is something that is talked about a ton, right, when you get towards recruiting. All right, they take, Yale, Jackson Morrill takes a pretty good shot, right? And this year, is an attackman, Lucas Kotler, for them that ends up coming around the goal and scoring, right? But their offense, just as you're watching that flow, right, it's not scripted. Guys are just taking open space. You see 9 coming through behind, right? He's coming from up top. He's a midi. Nobody's occupying the space behind the goal. He goes, hey, I'm going to do it, right, and ends up getting a really important goal for Yale. All right, this one, short and sweet. All right, I thought it was great, right? Player is coming in, all right, right here from the box. Okay, Yale is immediately giving him both options, right? Number 3 for them is just fading and sprinting away from the Dodger, all right, which is terrific. They're getting 2 guys to the crease. They're all getting ready to work off of what this guy's going to do. All right, so this is something that we 100% want to make sure we're always doing on our offensive end, regardless of what corner it might be, right? It might be this deep right corner, maybe up here. We always want to make sure that the ball carrier has a ton of space. All right, Tommy, I'm going to let this play through, and then I want you to walk me through what this guy – give me a couple points of what he does great besides the shot.
Oh, damn.
I mean, pretty crazy shot. All right, what are some of the, spit out some good points. You can, throw out any, give me one.
Climbs the ladder, gets high, gets a strong hand.
I can't hear you again. Climb the ladder.
Climb the ladder, gets to a strong hand. He's going north south, not fading away from the net.
Yep. That's the biggest thing for me, fellas. And this is, I see this with our team, right? At this point, right, for this Dodger, he has to make a decision, right? He has to decide, right, if he's going to carry the ball from this corner and sweep all the way across the field. He's got to decide, is he going to be able to get himself right down, north-south towards the goal, right? And if the answer is no, which is fine, he then knows that he's got to get the ball out of his stick quick to number 3 to where now they can play off of it, right? Too many times you see it, and you guys think about it with, your high school offenses, with our offense. Too many times this guy carries all the way into number 3, right? And then our spacing goes, very poorly because 3's like, are you throwing it to me? Am I clearing through? He doesn't really know where he's going to go, right? Our big, thing we talk about at Cabrini, right, is you're not going to carry from one side of the field to the other. So 4 now, he knows, at this point, he's got to make a decision. Am I able to get going towards the goal, right, and get basically underneath this Penn defenseman? If the answer is no, which is perfectly fine, right, now I know, all right, I'm going to bang the ball to 3, and I might pick for him. I might undercut. I might just kind of get out of his way, but now let him attack, all right? I think this is a huge, huge part for all you guys offensively in your growth, right? There's nothing wrong with not beating your guy. All right. Additionally, as you look at this, and I wanted to kind of go through it nice and slow, right, is look how this guy gets the shot off, right? And this is another great spot. I mean, he is muscling himself down the alley, right? I know it's always a little, hard for you guys, right? But it's not cradle, right? He pulls his hands back. He sets his hands. Boom, that ball comes out of his stick. I mean, that's a really, really high-level shot.
Coach, go back to that real quick. Guys, kind of reminds me of Schreiber, right? A lot of times now you don't need to use your bottom hand to shoot, right? He's using his top hand, right? Back it up one more little click there. So when is he beat, guys? Freeze it. Freeze. So, guys, if you back it up to, all right, leave it there, that's fine. Right there, he's beat, right? He was beat 5 yards back. If Yale's offensive player, his left shoulder is in front of the defender, which it was, all the way back to, the restraining box, that's a tendency, or that's something we look for to say, okay, he's beat. Does that make sense? This guy in the crease is going, but I don't know why he doesn't go. Maybe because 3's guys showing as well. But the shot is just, kind of reminds me of that dude number 24 from the Crabs that we play. Uses his top hand to shoot it.
No doubt. And, fellas, this is another great point, on the defensive end, right? I mean, Penn's got 2 guys standing here that could be telling them, hey, you're not covering anybody, right? The worst part is he doesn't go when he easily could, right? Whoever this guy is is able to help to the crease guy. This guy's ready to help to the crease as well. Penn almost had a free slide to be able to go. And this is, just another reason why communication's huge. But again, a high level shot. As we go to the next one, I'm going to kind of just let this roll. Yale's trying to get, a big little, an invert. All right. Penn jumps into their zone. Okay. And not a crazy amount of teaching points, but what Yale does is they're constantly stepping in gaps, right? And they're keeping themselves moving. You guys want to watch this game again. I just watch 44 for Yale. I mean, he does not stop moving the whole game, right? But being able, hey, we're just going to throw forward, try and step in gaps, right? Square up. All right, what do we have? And even here, right? Let me get D-Rock. What's Penn's defense really? Like, who do they have covering above the goal right now? Like, what guys do they have that are covering, from goal line extended up, right? This guy's out. I'll give you that one. He's covering the X guy, right? Who's covering, the perimeter above the goal for Penn? How many guys do they have?
2 or 3.
Right? They have 3, right? Great answer, right? Yeah, they got right here, 1. They got 9 up top. They got this guy on the wing. All right. For whatever reason, Penn is covering 2 guys. They're covering 1 guy with 2 inside. All right. Which obviously, zones are going to tend to do this a little bit. But watch what Yale does, right? And this is where each guy, if you look, 44 is stepping in between 41 and this wing guy, right? This guy is itching for the ball because he's in between this guy and top center, number 9. 4 between 9 and 18, right? And 3's kind of playing in that gap underneath, right? They morph their spots because they've started to understand a little bit of what Penn's doing. All right, now their attackman makes a great skip pass, right? 4 hammers his top right spot that he likes again, all right? But it's just a terrific shot. As I go back, all right, and I slow-mo on this, fellas, watch 4's form, okay? And this is something that I think is the biggest thing for you guys to learn with your shooting, right? He pulls his hands back, gets a little bit of a crow hop in, but his eyes and his head don't move, right? I mean, he is 100% locked in on where he's going, all right, where he's trying to shoot the ball, and he is just nice, comfortable, using his core to shoot it, following through and letting it go, right? You do not need to have that crazy whip, head. Everything should not be flying through and looking all crazy when we're shooting the ball, right? We should be locked in on our spot, go and shoot it. I remember I went to a personal trainer back in the day, and of course I was not a fast individual whatsoever. So when I used to run, I was always like fighting the air, like it was like my head was moving, my arms, I was all over the place, right? And the personal trainer's like, dude, if you watch the Olympics, like really good runners are not, it doesn't look like they're working that hard. It makes it look like they're doing it effortlessly. And it's the same thing with shooting, right? You want the same thing, right? It's my hands are set, I'm comfortable, I'm locked in on the goal, I step in, I let it fly, right? You'll see that again in another clip as well.
Coach, real quick, why do you attack gaps in a zone for the guys, for our young buck offensive players?
That's a great question.
Does anyone know that?
Who's speaking? Who's got me?
Maybe to get the defense moving and thinking, and then because if maybe you can make a guy overplay to open up for another gap.
Guy overplay. All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, okay, the ball gets skipped through to number 4, right? Obviously, for one, he's stepping in. He's in a gap, right? Mainly, if you're staying in a gap, what it allows you to do is basically lock eyes with the guy with the ball. A lot of times, right? If 4 is standing behind number 9, he ain't getting that pass, right? Right. Jackson Morrill, number 15's got no shot that he's going to be able to connect on that, and he's not going to try and throw it through a defenseman's body. All right, so that's a number 1. Okay, for number 2, right, the knee part is when you step in these gaps, you then, when you catch the ball, number 4 has the immediate answer if he was to pass the ball of where the ball's going, right? You want to figure out, as I catch the ball, I want to know who's sliding to me because that's going to give me my answer of where I should throw the ball. All right, so Leary right now with 9 sliding to him, all right, would it be better for him to, if he was to pass this, would he want to pass it to the right or pass it to the left?
Probably to the left because 19 looks farther because 18 looks pretty close to 3.
Yep.
And it'd probably be a farther slide from to 18.
Absolutely, 100%, right? Throwing the ball, stepping in those gaps. If he throws the ball to 18, now 19's got to come up, right? He throws it down to 44, right? And they get the defense rotating. If he catches the ball here, throws it to 3, right? Penn doesn't move. 18 just goes and plays them. Penn all stays in their same spots. Nobody rotates. All right, and it just makes it easy. So it's a great point by Coach Slate. 4 just decided to hammer one home. But it's a great question. And actually, you'll see the exact example on that right on this next one. All right, so, Yale goes across. All right, they're clearing the ball. Number 12 does a great job here. I love this. Gets to the midline, stops for a second. Figures out if he's got guys back. They do. All right, and now if you watch, he busts ass 100% getting in, pushing transition. Again, this is why this was such a high-scoring game. All right, now I'm gonna go with Little Slate on this one. All right, I'm gonna let this one play for you. All right, let me know where you think what if number 12 did the right thing, throwing it right back to number 9, or if he should have moved the ball to his left to his teammate 16. What do you think? Or sorry, 44.
Yeah, he could have. Well, there was 2 people on the side that the 44 was on, so he couldn't have drawn and dumped to the bottom right guy. So yeah, it is the right thing because he could have, if that guy didn't shoot, he could have drawn and dumped and threw it to 41, I think, in the corner.
Okay. So what we were just talking about, why does that make that the right thing?
Because it was the farther slide for 5.
Exactly. All right. My rule of thumb, fellas, with this has always been, if the guy comes and plays you from your right side, throw it to the right. Right? If a guy comes from your left side to play you, throw it to your left. Right? And it's the most simple and basic thing.
Simple game, coach. Simple game.
Right? But it's tough to do. I mean, Yale connects on passes. I mean, this is some crazy high-level skill here. Okay.
Look at how quickly he shoots the ball, guys. I mean, it's just like
stealing my points there, Coach Slade. I love
sorry,
it.
Coach. Sorry.
No, it's great. I was getting to that one. But when you see this, right, Penn has their 3v3 on this left side of the field over here, right? This D guy's covering 16. This guy's inside on 44. This guy's over here. All right. You know, what is it? 12 comes down, okay, catches the ball, and he's now wants to find the 3-on-2. Okay. And it happens super, super quick. And too many times you'll see guys, you know, hey, I catch from one side, I have to swing it to the other side of the field, right? Which to me has always been incorrect, right? I have to read where that slide comes from. And you see this defenseman for Penn, right? He flies back. He tries to scrape back. And now look, Yale has a 2-on-1. All right. This is what you want. You know, 9 makes, as Coach Slate was getting to, right? This is a crazy, crazy good shot for him. You know, I mean, he catches the ball loaded. 12 puts it right on his stick. Catch, no cradle, boom, gets it out. All right. Who else we got on here? Let me get Zeller. I'm going to ask you. Why else? This is super high level, Zeller. I'll be ecstatic if you get this one right. What else is really, really good about the shot selection that number 9 has right there? Why is this an even better shot?
Well, it was like just as the defender was going back in, he like saw the defender going in, so he knew that he was gonna have to run back out, so he pulled it out quick and just like banged it in, I guess. Okay.
I like it. Did he have a lot of time to catch, look at the goal, see where he was shooting, and let the ball go?
Not really, no. Not at all.
No. Yeah, absolutely, right? No, he didn't. Okay, so for me, and this goes back to what we were talking about, shot selection with number 26 for Penn when Coach Slate was doing his clips, right? If you're not going to have a great look at the cage, you're deep, right? That now needs to go to the extreme corners. You need to be creative. You need to go with a bounce shot, right? This is not the time to try to go with like high to high, overpower, or just shoot the ball high where the goalie can make an easy save, or you might just hit him in the chest, right? 9 feels really good. He's like, man, I got no look at this goal. I got a guy coming on me. I just got to let this thing fly. He knows no way he's going to be super accurate, right? This kid's a terrific player, but in a play like this, he's got no chance of being accurate, right? So he just lets the ground do the work, right? And odds are good. It's either going to be a tough save for the goalie, right? Or it might hit him. You know, it's going to not be a clean save that creates transition for the other team.
Plus a screenshot, Coach, right? The goalie never saw it really because he's shooting it off the hip of 5.
Oh, yeah, the best. All right, this one, awesome. All right, I do have to say this a little bit on Penn side. Not great defense here, okay? But I'm going to let it play through. All right, you see another goal from 9. All right, awesome offense. All right, and letting this play through, fellas. You know, the neat part is constantly moving, right? They get a clear through guy here. You know, the thing that I love about Yale's offense is, you know, you see they pop off the field. They're trying to get set up. You know, they're getting organized, trying to figure out what they're in. You know, they do a little dummy pick, all these different things. But the neat part is none of them are stagnant, right? You know, even at this part, sorry, I wanted to go back a little bit, right? You can tell these guys are just playing off each other. 44, he's a crease guy. He decides, I'm just going to pop above the ball, right? 9 is kind of thinking about cutting, ends up staying high. 12 does a great job. He's just like, man, look at all this space. Like, I'm just going to go stand over here, right? It's awesome. Okay. Penn, they go with that pop with the crease guy. 44 in the most basic offense, or 41 is wide open, which then just creates, confusion. All right. And Penn's not sure where they're going, right? They end up jumping to the crease. Now they're flying to the wing. All right. But again, look at this set shot from number 9. Same thing. Yale practices this, right? I mean, he is comfortable, right? His hands are, sorry, as I jumped through it too fast, right? His hands are set. He's looking right at that top right. It's a comfortable shot. He's not trying to crazy overpower it and shoot it, with 100% might. He's shooting it
Coach?
with 98%, and he's good to go. Is this my last clip?
Rewind that last one, Coach, for a sec.
Yep. Give me a second here.
9 can rip. They have a bunch of guys that can score, man. All right, that's good. I'm good. Let's move to the next one. Just want to see something.
So, Foz, this is my last one. I know we're keeping you on here a little long. All right. Who do I got? Who do I got as my NO guy on here? All right, Frenchie, you're going to be my guy here. I got a little bit of an easy one, but a little bit of a tricky one for you.
Frenchie.
What would you say Yale is in offensively set-wise right now? Just remember, it's a trick question.
Like a 2-3-1 or?
All right. Max, would you agree? You think that's 2-3-1?
Nah, because the one guy's not on the wing. There's like, they're kind of just like all on the crease.
Okay. So what set would you think it is? Again, remember, trick question.
There's no left wing, so I would say 2-3-1 as well.
Okay.
But
here's the neat part, and this is why I say it's a trick question, guys, right? The nice part is nobody knows, right? Nobody has any idea, right? To me, this is not an organized set, right? It's, these guys are all over the place. This guy was the midi that kind of ran the ball behind. They're all trying to figure out what they're trying to get into, right? Really what Yale is just doing is getting themselves ready to space the field. All right. What they do, which is terrific, and we talked about this in some of our last Zooms, is what they do is basically go like a 1-5 and look at all this space for the Dodger, right? I mean, this is just another great opportunity to win a dodge, right? It puts Penn on high alert to have to slide to the ball, all right? But what they end up doing is they're not in a set right now, but they know they're going to fan into one as that dodge starts to happen. So it makes it really, really difficult, for Penn to understand what they're doing, and it creates a ton of confusion for them defensively, right? As this starts to go through, right, we'll just kind of slow forward it. You see guys are all moving, everyone's moving around, right? And now look at this spacing, right? Now you're basically 2, right, 3, 1, right? You can start to see the form take shape, right? But Penn has no clue, right? 41 has no idea who he's covering. Guys are all over the place. Like they're in a scramble set because of that, right? And it's just a great opportunity, right? Penn slides, okay? And I feel bad for him, but watch my man 41 inside on the crease, right? Penn ends up going to this. Yale still, again, they throw the ball forward. They get it through to X, right? And Penn is sending 2 guys to 4, right? So far away from the goal. And they have 1 guy right here left to cover the ball at X, right? And 44, okay? Which, boom, just allows a little curl by him, catch, right? And in a game that was such a high-level game with 2 really good teams, you get a guy getting a dunk, as an easy one right in front, right? And Frenchie, that's why I picked you, man. I know those are the ones you like to score right inside. So, it's always trying to create that confusion. And like I said, being organized in a set doesn't mean we have to stand still. We can move around in that, but as that dodge starts to happen, then we got to start to make sure our spacing is on point and where we need to be. So, good work, fellas. That's all I have for anybody. I know Coach Trav had jumped on if he wanted to. I know he's on there, but he might be away. Anybody else got a comments, or concerns?
Hey,
Victor,
guys.
got any more funny stories? Any more jokes?
Victor, one more joke.
Why was the baby strawberry crying? Because his mom and dad were in a jam.
Hey, guys. What were the two things we talked about in the beginning of mine that can help you guys, other than, practicing on the field, and it's kind of what we're doing now, but what were the other things we talked about that you need to start doing in high school?
Watching film.
Yep. And what comes with that? What else could you do?
You could like analyze film, like you got to work out and make your body better.
Yeah, I guess that stat sheet I pulled up, no one saw it. So that was kind of the other thing, but looking at stats, guys, right? Looking at, if I'm playing Duraco, how many times does he shoot compared to how many times is he scoring? Does he just score? Does he feed? So if he just scores, I'm sliding early to him because he doesn't have any assists, those types of things. They're the things that will set you apart moving forward here, in high school and beyond.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, awesome, fellas. We kept you for close to an hour. I appreciate you guys all jumping on. Hope you guys learned something. But have a good weekend. We're supposed to have some crazy nice weather. So everybody enjoy themselves best they can. Stay safe. Tell your parents you love them.
Later. See you guys.
That's good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.